Hey guys, it's Psychosis here, and today I figured I wanted to do a review of an album that I've been waiting for at least a year. I've been really excited about this album, and that is Killswitch Engage's "This Consequence." And everyone's probably already talked about this album. Everyone's been really excited that it's released, but like I said, Killswitch Engage is like my favorite band of all time, so I was really excited for this album. And yeah, and so it came out on the 21st, and since then I've listened to it a ton. And so yeah, this is my review for this is a yeah, and yeah, this is a review from a fan of favorite band, and no recency, without the recency bias, hopefully. That's why it took a few days. And yeah, it's probably annoying, like I said, everyone's talking about it. But everyone's excited, it's their ninth album, and they've been doing this for 25 years, so it's crazy they're still making music. And like I said, it's their ninth album, which is just crazy. And yeah, so this is my review of This Consequence. And yeah, starting off with the album artwork and the logo, they're okay. It could have been better, honestly. It kind of threw me off at first because I thought it was just like a picture for a single, because they do that. They make like fun little artworks for singles sometimes, but no, that's just the artwork. And the logo's kind of cool, but it's just weird. It's different from all the other ones they've done on their albums, and I don't know what to think of it. The artwork's just different. It's different from Atonement and all the other artworks. I'm just not as super big into it. It doesn't look bad, but and it looks kind of cool, but it's not like the best or amazing. And I've certainly seen better artworks this year already from other albums that I've been excited about or have released. And yeah, also another craziest thing is this is the shortest Killswitch Engage album they've ever released, which is crazy because every one of their albums is generally on average about 38 minutes. Even their very first album was 38 minutes long. This album is only 35 minutes long, which is really short, in my opinion. It is really short. And that's having 10 standard 10 song run too. No 11 or 12 songs. No, that's just 10 songs. Because there are a few 2-minuters. I mean, Atonement had those too, but Atonement is still somehow longer. But yeah, it's just really short. I can kind of bump points on that. Arcs, like I said, not the best. And the production quality, it varies on this album. It is certainly way better than a lot of their newer albums, in my opinion. Like the overall quality of the production's like pretty good, but it's also just the way the songs are too. It kind of falters a little bit, but it is certainly way better than the weird flatty kind of production on Atonement. Like I heard the production on this and I immediately liked it way better. That was my first takeaway, aside from what I'm gonna get into eventually. But yeah, it is really good. And yeah, and another yeah, the production is kind of mixed, but it's generally really good. Like I said, it's the best. It is certainly better than Incarnate and Waking the Fallen. It is and Atonement combined. It is better than all those in terms of production quality, and even the 2009 one. But it's not hard to beat that one. And yeah, and obviously it's modern album, so it already sounds better overall sound quality than the older ones. But yeah, so the production is pretty good for the most part. But like I said, it seems mixed, but that's just due to the way the songs are. Because musically, this album is kind of interesting. They compared to Atonement, they dropped the more In Flames influence, and they kind of toned down the thrashy side of it all, and went with like the standard sound that we all know and love with them, but also with some bits of groove, and even dilly dallying on deathcore, which surprised me. Like this album, they definitely didn't hold back a few punches here or there in terms of heaviness, but The whole thing isn't all that though. The biggest complaint with the newer albums is it's just not heavy like the older stuff, and they brought that back. But it's not the whole album. There's still the clean choruses, the singing, the usual riffs we all love and love, and a ton of throwback riffs to older stuff too. And it's just really fun, in my opinion. But the problem is, as an album musically wise, it is kind of inconsistent. Compared to a lot of it, because at least with a lot of their other albums, the songs were all kind of unique, but they all flowed well together. This one is like mixed, because you have the softer, cleaner, more mainstream radio songs, and then you have shorter filler songs that aren't filler because they're just really good. And then the beginning of the album is different than the end. The beginning of the album is the weaker side, in my opinion. It gets better towards the end when it gets heavier. But yeah, it's just inconsistent. And the singles are the weakest songs on the album. I was really disappointed when I heard Forever Aligned for the most part. It's not a bad song, but I was worried that all the songs were going to be like that. But they're not. Luckily, that was the weakest song on the album. And that's because it's just the mainstream kind of choruses. It ruins the momentum because the song starts off with like all you could say, and just like it's awesome, and then it just like choruses start and it loses all its momentum. But it's not a bad song, but it is easily the weakest song on the album. And yeah, and then the second single they released, I Believe, is even better. It's not the strongest song on the album, but it's like a ton of earworms. It's got a ton of earworms. I love the chorus. I believe there's hope for better days, and just it gets caught in my head. But like I said, the singles are the weaker songs on this album. As I listened to this album a ton over the past few days, I don't go back to the singles as often, but it's kind of annoying because they'll be everywhere. At least in my opinion, it'll be annoying because everyone will be playing the singles and miss out on all the rest of the songs, which were better. Yeah, because there's other songs. The final track was cool, Requiem. There's Broken Glass, a short, kind of groovy song with like a guest vocal appearance. I still don't know who it is, but it was the only one I noticed. I wish there was more appearances though. They said there was going to be a ton of guest appearances, but I only noticed at least one. So that was kind of disappointing too. And yeah, there's also Discordant Nation, Collusion. Collusion's got a really cool breakdown at the end of it. Like that's what I love so much is at the end of the second half of the album, just there's more heaviness to it. I mean, they still throw in the choruses, but he's like growling and stuff, and it's just so good to see. There's no old school fries though. He doesn't bring those back, but it's just to hear like super heavy or low growls coming from Jesse is just awesome. And yeah, like I said, the first song, "Abandon Us," is the start of the song album. There's Discordant Nation. I'm trying to remember. I Believe, Forever Aligned. I'm missing a few songs, but my mind's running blank. But honestly, overall though, my favorite song and the one I've been obsessively listening to is "The Fall of Us." It's the third to last song on the album, and it comes right after Collusion. It is just awesome. It's super heavy and like yeah, just super heavy, just super awesome. And it's definitely the heaviest song on the album, and it's just a really heavy, powerful song. I just love it. I've probably listened to it like 40 times at least in these past few days. I'm just in love with it. I actually had to stop myself from time to time and take a break because I've just been obsessed with that song. It's just so good. There's a lot of chugs, a lot of heavy riffs. Like I said, and the ending has like this deathcore like breakdown. It is just so good. Yeah, it sounds like I'm just tuning this album's horn, but like I said, it's as a problem though. The biggest problem with this album though isn't its short length or the varying production quality, because the quality of the songs it like varies. It's like weird. It's just the way that it just albums the songs together as one whole album just kind of feel inconsistent, but when you listen to them individually, they're just like way better. I don't know why that is, but I don't know. It's just a short, good album. I love this album overall. I was really surprised. Like I said, I was really worried about it after hearing Forever Aligned. And I was feeling a little bit better after hearing I Believe. But once the whole album came out on the 21st, I've just been in love with this album. At the moment of the few albums I've heard so far in 2025, this is my favorite one. And I actually enjoy this way better than the new All That Remains album. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah. Overall, though, I think I will give I was originally going to give this album a 9 out of 10, but I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's still a very solid album, but it's very short, and the songs don't flow consistently together. And that the second half is the stronger half of the album, in my opinion. Just the songs are way heavier. They don't seem as chorus driven. And the choruses seem to not mess with the momentum of the songs as much in the second half. That's just the problem though with like Forever Aligned, is that the choruses just kind of kill the momentum of the song. It's not a bad song overall. It was just kind of disappointing as like a first single, but that single overall is like way better than Unleash though. And yeah, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Very solid metalcore album. I'm very excited about this album. I don't have it yet, but I will have to definitely add it to my collection to have the full Killswitch collection, and because it's just pretty good album, pretty good album. And yeah, the production quality is like mixed. That has also a fault in its short length, but overall, really good songs. Ton of great energy and great songs and riffs. Throwback to old stuff and mixed in with the new. It's just really good. And The Fall of Us is just easily the 10 out of 10 song on the album. I love that song. And yeah, I would highly recommend this album. And as I've said, this is my favorite album this year so far, but I haven't listened to a whole lot of releases yet. I've been really bad at that. And yeah, that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed this album. Like I said, it's really good. I'd highly recommend it, especially if you like metalcore or Killswitch. And it is, yeah, and this album is just way better than Atonement. I also have to add that. Like, this album makes Atonement feel pretty mid in comparison, despite all its flaws. And that's not that's not recency bias talking. That's my genuine opinion, because I have a lot to say. I can always have a lot to say about Atonement, but yeah. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video and this review, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.